Dear students, good morning. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 21st March 2018. The first article, Separate Freedoms. Before going into the discussion of this article, let me make one statement for you. The civil and political rights of the citizens cannot be exchanged for the economic benefits offered to them. So, the civil and political rights, your life, liberty, freedoms, all these are civil and political rights. So whatever the subsidies which we are receiving, these are the economic benefits. So these economic benefits, these cannot be given as a doles to take away the civil political rights of the citizen. These are universal. So in this scenario, most of the times poor, they take the assistance of the state for their livelihood. So the state cannot demand in return a compromise on their rights for receiving economic benefits. So human dignity is equal for everyone. In Puttaswamy versus Union of India case, Supreme Court what clearly stated is, right to privacy is integral to Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Intimacy, dignity, all these are essential parts of the Article 21. Now after that, today Aadhaar is before Constitutional Bench of Supreme Court. Is Aadhaar violative of right to privacy or not? The Supreme Court is examining. So in this scenario, Aadhaar is linked, our government has forced the citizens to link Aadhaar to various economic benefits. Before, it was stated as voluntary. And second thing is, government is also stating that phone number, PAN card, even bank account, everything of every citizen has to be linked to Aadhaar. So here, the Supreme Court has given a relief stating that till its final judgment is pending, no such a linkage is mandatory. But the Section 7 is kept as an exception. What is this Section 7? Any citizen who is getting any subsidy, benefit or service from the government and the expenditure is made from Consolidated Fund of India, he is supposed to submit his details, or is Aadhaar is mandatory for him. We will understand it this way. So if you are taking an economic benefit, Aadhaar is mandatory. So if tomorrow Supreme Court declares Aadhaar is violative of right to privacy, then this interim order given by the Supreme Court is that not taking away the right of a citizen in return for the economic benefit or service or subsidy offered by the government. Is that not? So in this circumstances, again, this article reinforces the point that the civil political rights are universal and they cannot be exchanged for few economic benefits that are being offered by the state. That is the point which we need to understand and remember over here. Awash in water crisis. You know that the water scarcity is increasing. Already we are running these water trains these days in Maharashtra. And the second is, the water crisis is going to worsen if urbanization goes at this pace. And most of the population, I think more than 2/3 are expected to live in the urban areas by 2050. And this rural to urban shift is going to come from Asia and African continents. It means the developing countries are going to face severe water crisis. How it has to be handled? So here, this article specifically talks about nature-based solutions. So here, what are these nature-based solutions and why they are important? Most of these nature-based solutions are evolved and these are ecological friendly and they are cost effective. Now, what are these nature-based solutions? Let's take wetlands. These are the natural reservoirs of various gases. So protecting these wetlands, creating if necessary artificial wetlands is one thing. Watershed management. Pooling all the water into one single location or collecting the water. So building the natural watersheds. Third, a rotation of the crops. So for example, legumes can be planted in between the regular crop. So between the plantation crops, we can make the legumes. So crop rotation, crop diversification, and calculating the water, how much water is consumed for a unit of crop. It means water budgeting. So all these techniques, nature-based solutions, those are being suggested under this article. Remember the word nature-based solutions. Now, accord under strain. It is about Colombia peace process. Now, Mr. Santos, the president of Colombia, he got the Nobel Prize for this peace deal. So here, the security forces of Colombia, revolutionary forces, though they have agreed initially, but the people are not very confident about this accord. And the opposition, rightist elements, these rightist militias, these are not accepting these revolutionary forces coming into the mainstream politics. So that's why in the recent parliamentary elections, President Santos' party has stood forth. And the rightist parties and main opposition party, these have come in the first, second, third positions. So in this scenario, to what extent this peace process is going to be alive is the major question. But it is not much important to us from the main's perspective. But however, any peace process, if it has to be successful, then the citizens shall be able to understand the peace process completely. So making the people understand and having a consensus among the political system is very crucial. That is the point which we need to understand. If we take Naga peace process in India, so the political parties are not taken into confidence, or the integration of the society is not been well planned, or all the stakeholders are not involved. If you talk about greater Nagaland demand, obviously Manipur will oppose to that. So involving different stakeholders and then bringing a common ground between them through dialogue. That is how these problems which are from very long term can be solved. So here the Colombia peace process is one example where the peace was established through long-term negotiations with the revolutionary forces. So however, it appears falling flat. And back to front, third front is always third in position. It means that it never survived without the support of BJP or Congress. If you talk about National Front, United Front, so if you talk about Chandrasekhar government support, it lived with Congress support and they withdrew the plug someday. And the same is the case with VP Singh government, it lived on the support of the BJP. And then Devagowda government, IK Gujral government, they lived with the oxygen from Congress. So it clearly shows that either the Congress or BJP have supported the third front. Whatever the KCR, K. Chandrasekhar Rao of Telangana state proposing for third front is anti-Congress, anti-BJP front. Obviously, his major opposition party in the state is Congress. He cannot go along with Congress. So Congress and there is another front which is growing surrounding the Congress to challenge the BJP. But however, remember one thing. So no this third front led government has stayed in power for the full term. And second, all the third front governments are post-poll alliances, not pre-poll alliances. So these points you need to keep in mind over here. And second, the priority is to defeat the RSS-led BJP government. I told to you the Communist Party is more in a thinking mode now. So how it has to move forward? Can it align itself with Congress is the question. But one thing remember, Communist parties enjoy a good deal of internal democracy when we compare to other national parties like Congress and BJP. So Communist parties, they can go for the electoral gains with Congress, or they have to mobilize the people surrounding their problems. The previous recent farmers' protest led by All India Kisan Sabha is an example for this. Now, there is socialism and secularism versus secularism debate. So if RSS-led BJP government, if it has to be defeated, it means that the left is trying to prioritize what is called as a secular front. But however, if you talk the economic agenda of both Congress and BJP, these are neoliberal agenda they are carrying forward. That is the reason why left has withdrew its support for Manmohan Singh government after UPA 1. And the second thing, ideologically left is only giving a choice to the people now. Either it is BJP or regional parties or Congress, choices are being limited to the voters. Left is an ideological choice for the poor and marginalized. So if left goes in alliance with the Congress, these ideological choices are getting minimalized. So to what extent the left has to convince itself to go with Congress for short-term electoral gains is advised. That's what we want to see. And if it is not gaining the electoral victories, can it remain relevant to the people is the second question. Now, if you take Tripura or Kerala or to an extent West Bengal, so the social indices are much better compared to the other states. And Tripura has full literacy, Kerala has good literacy. Now, when truth loses, now any false news, we are very curious. It will come in very good headings. And it has a surprise element. This is what is the MIT research says. The false news or fake news or alternate facts, these are spreading much faster than, much wider than the true news. That's why many a times people stopped giving reasons for what others believe now. Previously, we feared the society, everyone tried to give an answer to the others for any accusations, etc. Now, no one are ready to listen to the others. This is, everyone are echoing in their own chambers. This is what I call it as closed loop circularity. You praise me, I praise you. You are good, I am good. So, we are not ready to take the criticism or other opinions. In algorithm-led social media, the personal interest gets ramified. Personal views gets echoed and consolidated. That is what is the problem. And then, coming to the news, this Mary Com's NGO is under the scanner. So, here, remember the word Foreign Contributions Regulation Act. So, we have discussed enough about FCRA. Again, what are the provisions of FCRA? What are the recent amendments brought in FCRA to allow for foreign funds to the political parties? That point you need to remember. Center wants Humane Armed Forces Special Powers Act. So, humane and effective Armed Forces Special Powers Act. How the center is going to align these two words, humane and effective, I am confused. So, armed forces, when they define effective, they want a strong Armed Forces Act. Humane means there has to be more consideration for human rights. How the force and human rights gets aligned with each other is a major question to be answered. It is out of logic for me. And the next is, here there is a committee name, that is Jeevan Reddy Committee. So with Armed Forces Special Powers Act, there is alienation of the Northeast from mainland India. So this alienation has to be reduced. How can we do that? The alienation can only be reduced if there are no special laws towards Northeast. So what Jeevan Reddy Committee said is, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, it can be applied equally throughout the country rather than providing special laws in Kashmir and Northeast. So he has recommended for the repeal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act. The notes is given in the last page, lax.in/CivilsPrep. This is where the notes will be given to you. And then from 26th onwards, we are starting this prelims roundup program. The lax.in test prep, there you can register for this program. What are we going to cover in this? Current affairs, 1 year. We are going to cover it as per the syllabus. And the second, India yearbook. Third is economic survey. And fourth is geography through maps, important geographical locations across the world, which are in the news. So these are majorly. Along with this, subject-wise tests, I think around 50 subject-wise tests are being conducted. So subject-wise tests are to revise you the topics, and these current affairs are to refresh you these things. So this is in a nutshell about our program. I think we are charging 2,000 rupees for this program. You have money in your pocket, you can go through it. Thank you very much. All the best.